What? All right.
He's asleep.
Yes, he's asleep. Welcome back, Murdock fam. We are going to talk about this little
Murdock
one.
fans. Thought we were the Murdock fan.
The Murdock fam.
Murdock fans. Murdock fan club.
Well, we're 2 fan clubs. And 2 people. Anyways, yeah, we're going to talk about this one's first story today. This is little Cubby. I don't think we've really introduced him on here yet. Because we've been pretty lazy and just embracing him since he's been here. So we're going to put him down for a sec so you don't get hungry, huh? Anyways, Cubby Walker Murdock. That's his name. He's so great.
Born August 1st, 2023, so 8/123. It's kind of fun. Well, I probably shouldn't put that. Should I put that out there?
Yeah,
That doesn't really matter. It's his birthday. So there he is. That's how old he is.
It's on social media anyway.
You're right. That's true. 8 pounds, 12 ounces.
He was so big. Oh my gosh. Still can't get over that.
And he was 21 and a half inches.
Oh, and a half?
Oh, I don't know. No, 8, 12, 21. 8 pounds, 12 ounces, 21 inches. Our first baby, for comparison, was 6 pounds.
12 ounces.
12 ounces. That's right. 6 pounds, 12 ounces, and 19 inches. So he was a big boy. He's pretty much as big as he is now as he was when he came out.
No, he's freaking huge now.
Nah, he's like a pound. He's like a pound heavier. Maybe a little bit longer.
Well, 1.5. I will say it's very hard to remember all these birthdays nowadays because we've been having to go to the doctor a lot recently. And people are like, what's your husband's birthday? What's Cubby's birthday? What's Macoy's birthday? And I have to literally sit there and think and be like, which one's which? It's not easy for me.
She can't even remember her own birthday.
That's true. I can remember my birthday, just not my age. That one's a little tricky.
Dude, well, I'm literally realizing this right at this moment. That you're 1, 2, 3, and he's 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah.
You're 12, 3. How did I?
That's weird. I never noticed. I never even knew that.
That's literally your birthday.
Never put that together though. 1, 2, 3.
That's cute. So that's cool because I'm 4'16" and McCoy is 2'16", and now Covey is 1, 2, 3. Brittany's 1, 2, 3.
Aw, he's my child.
He kind of is. He looks a lot like Brittany. He's got darker hair, kind of a different face, more of a Brittany face. We're calling her Brit now because she chopped her hair to a mommy do. This has nothing to do with the first, but, well, kind of. She had a baby, so she chopped her hair.
That's why I really chopped it because our other child.
All you moms out there, Brittany understands. You chop your hair when you have your second. So.
It's true.
Anyways.
That keeps you warm though, huh? You're cold. Okay, we are back. Technical difficulties of our camera full. So, to jump right into it.
I thought we were just going to edit all that out.
Anyways, to get right into it. So really, pregnancy was great for the most part. Minus the normal reflux and what other issues did I have?
None. It was awesome. It was the best thing ever. She loves being pregnant.
I do love being pregnant. But
next.
Pelvic pain at the very beginning, but I did not get nauseous at all with him, which was so nice, or Mac, but... And... What did I complain about?
She complained about everything, but there wasn't really anything going on.
Oh, get out of here. Anyways, very smooth pregnancy. And then we went to our 26-week appointment, and we were super excited to get, well, I was super excited to get checked, to see where I was at, if anything was happening, you know.
26 weeks?
36, sorry. Why can't I never say that right?
I have no idea.
I do that every time I say 36. I say, or try to say 36. I say 26. Anyways, go to our 36-week
The
appointment.
baby was 11 weeks early.
No, he was not. And they do the normal check, and she's like, I think he's Breech. And we're like, awesome. I instantly just like panicked, got sick to my stomach, was so sad, all the feels. She's like, yeah, let's go do an ultrasound to make sure. And yeah, how did you feel? Did you know what that really was at that point?
I didn't really know what Breech was, and I didn't realize it was bad. And Brittany gets all emotional, and I'm like...
I instantly, like, as soon as the doctor left, I started crying pretty much.
I was just like... It seemed really early to have anything happening anyway. It's 4 weeks, so I was like, what? And she's like crying. She's like, I'm gonna have to have a C-section, and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like...
I blame half of it on the hormones. But I was really sad. So, go do the ultrasound, and he was, in fact, Breech, and very much so. So pretty much what we decided, she talked to us, kind of explained, since I was 36 weeks, there was still obviously enough time for him to turn. Like, it's not impossible. But he is getting bigger every day, every week. And so the chances of him turning are getting less and less every week.
On his own.
On his own. Or at all. And and so we're like, great. And everything I read was like pretty much like after 37 weeks, the chances are like very slim. So in my head, I'm like, okay, I have a week to try to get him to turn, do everything I can, which I did. I cried a lot more that day, I should say. I don't know why it was like
yoga. She started yoga poses and walking and
I was doing flips in the pool,
playing music in her pelvic region.
That's what they say, to try to get the baby to like go to the music.
Follow the light.
And a light. That's
yeah.
another thing.
Right.
They do. They say put the light down there.
And put the cold on his head because his head was up and it needed to be down. Put the ice pack, so she's got music blasting up in there, and then she's got
trying to freeze him out.
Freezing cold, and it was all the tricks.
Every pose you could think of.
Nothing worked, so then they suggested a ECV, external cephalic version. Anyway, they just call it a version at the hospital. We kept saying ECV, and they kept saying version, so we did what the medical people said. Which basically means grab baby by the head and try to whip him around. And it hurts the mom a lot and is like a 50-50 shot.
Yeah, everyone kept saying like, oh, it'll hurt, you know, and I watched some videos and I'm like, oh, it'll hurt. But in my mind, I'm like, man, these people are pansies. Like, what about just like moving? I don't know. I'm like, that just doesn't seem very.
And beware painful. If you go look it up after this. It's quite like.
It's pretty intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Viewer discretion
Maybe
advised.
I'll put a little clip from ours in. Because it's honestly pretty cool. Like when it works.
Right, that's so cute. So little Cubby, what are you doing? Come around for us. Alright. Halfway point is the worst.
So they try to do that. Like we go in, try to do that, and he is just stubborn as could be. So my doctor was there, and she had one of the other doctors that are in her office come help because he was on call. We actually had to do it at labor and delivery in case you have to go to like an emergency C-section, just in case the cord gets wrapped around him or like your sac bursts or whatever. So we're in the hospital, they're trying. Carson literally, I couldn't see as much because I was literally just closing my eyes. And let me tell you, it is fetching painful. It freaking hurt so bad. I was just trying not to cry. I would just close my eyes and just pretend it wasn't happening. But from Carson's side, he was saying my doctor at least, was like literally like shaking.
Because she's they were both shaking. They were like
so hard.
Like leaned into the table, pushing as hard as they can, both of them at the same time.
Just trying to get
having so much jelly, just trying to slide
so
around.
Much jelly.
The problem with Brittany his body and the baby was Brittany has this much torso, and the baby and her belly was poking out like that. So the best case scenario is to have a really long torso and a shallow belly so they can grab on and twist him. But because she had so much belly, every time they tried to grab his head, basically like grabbing a golf ball with butter on it, it would just slide.
He would just
slide to the back. And then when they did finally get him, there was a little bit of torso, so to try to get him to rotate,
it just wasn't happening.
It just
so
wasn't.
They got him like turned. They got his butt turned quite a bit, and then got his head turned like to here.
Yeah, like from 12 o'clock to like maybe 2:30.
Yeah, literally. And then he would just go back.
So
They tried for a long time too.
Yeah.
My doctor's a really good
long
family friend who I've known forever, so she was like extra trying to make it happen, just because she knew I didn't want to have a C-section. Mac's birth went really smoothly, like the pushing and stuff, and she's like, I just hate to have you have a C-section when it could go so good, you know. So usually they say they only do it for like 15 minutes, and they were doing it for like 30.
Yeah, and it's up to like if the baby gets in distress, they have to stop.
Oh yeah.
Baby wasn't even.
He didn't get
even
phased.
care.
His heart rate didn't change.
And Brittany's just out there sweating it out, and they kept saying, "Are you okay? You okay?"
Oh my gosh, just make it flip. I don't even care.
But needless
Didn't
to
work.
say, it was unsuccessful, which was the worst part because then she had all the pain. It was more after, I think, soreness and everything from the belly than it actually was during the process.
So crazy. I forget that we even did that.
Yes, it was
We're
kind of.
talking about it now.
It wasn't a waste because there are studies that show that if you do it and try, you kind of ignite something in the baby to like say, hey, like we're willing to flip you if you don't do it on your own, and then they end up doing it on their own.
Yeah.
There's studies that show
The
that.
other frustrating thing was my doctor's like, I truly don't know why he's breech, because the cord wasn't wrapped around him. Like there wasn't like anything specifically that she could see to where like he couldn't flip or anything. Obviously the babies just know what they're doing or whatever, but so that was like more annoying to me. So I was just like, oh my gosh, like why you're not just cooperating? But anyway, so I just kept doing stuff so that was like 37 weeks. Went to our next appointment, 38 weeks, still breech. And at that point, we had our C-section scheduled. We actually scheduled it at our ECV, what is it called? Virgin appointment.
Yeah.
When we were in the hospital, just like around 39 weeks, right after 39 weeks. So we already had that scheduled. But I just kept walking, kept doing stuff, just was so dedicated, trying so hard. And then we went to our last appointment it was
Friday.
Yeah, almost 39 weeks. That was a few days before 39 weeks. So it was Friday, and then our induction was on Tuesday, right? Oh yeah, because you didn't do. Our induction was on Tuesday. So...
That's important to know. I forgot about that.
What is?
The game, yeah, that's important. Friday, last appointment, checks him, still breech, super breech.
Well, you should say too, she actually wasn't even going to do a cervical check. She felt my belly, and she's like, oh yeah, he's still breech. She like fell up here and could like totally feel his head. She's like, yeah. And she's like, do you want me to do like a cervical check? And thankfully, I was like, yeah, but Carson's like, yeah, definitely 100%. Because I was honestly pretty discouraged at that point. I was just like, what's the point? But, so she did a cervical check. The other thing that was like making me frustrated is I was dilated to a 3 at this point. So I was like, oh my gosh, like my body's still figuring it out. Even though he's not cooperating, I wish I was like at a 0. That'd make me feel better about getting a C-section. But my body's doing everything it's supposed to. It's just this dang baby won't turn. And anyway, so yeah, she confirmed there. Still feel his butt or something. She's like, it's definitely not a head or anything close to it. So left there pretty discouraged, because now we're a few days out, almost 39 weeks. Like baby's pretty big at this point. In my mind, there's no chance of him flipping. Like I gave up.
There's also the thing of like, what's the point of going into labor now if you're just gonna have a C-section anyway?
Right, that makes it scarier.
Then you don't want to do anything, you know,
Which
because
I
all
didn't.
those other stretches could have induced labor. So
Bouncing
now
the
she's
ball,
like, I don't want to do
walking.
anything, because what if I put him into labor and then I go into labor and then they have to do it? So then I have all these contractions, all this pain for no reason, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So we took it easy the whole weekend. basically.
I literally gave up. I was like, I'm not doing anything. Like, I don't care. I've tried so hard. I'm so exhausted. Like, I did what I could, whatever. So, fast forward, had a great weekend, fun. Get to Tuesday, our induction scheduled for 9:30, I think. So we had to be there at like 7:30. So get up early, go to our appointment. I'm pretty stressed at this point. I was very nervous to get cut open. I was very, very nervous.
Yeah, she was.
And honestly, just like the thought of being awake for it freaked me out. The thought of like having to take care of Macoy after, because I know you can't really like lift. I wouldn't be able to lift him for, you know, a month or so. And I'm just like, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna survive? I'm gonna be in so much pain, you know, just all the thoughts I'm sure everyone thinks of their first C-section. So we go, I'm stressing, Carson and I say a prayer like right before our doctor comes in. So we had people, you know, coming in, like what's the guy called that knows you?
An anesthesiologist.
Yeah, like he was coming in, he was giving me the whole rundown of like what he does for the spinal tap.
For the C-section.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, for the spinal tap and like how all that works, and like, you know, it's like almost go time. The nurses are coming in. So then the nurse comes and puts the monitors on your belly. So there's one monitor for the heart rate and one monitor for the contractions. And somehow Carson did not hear this part. I don't know where the heck he was, but so she puts it on, and she puts on the contraction one, and then she's like searching for the heart, and she like can't find it up here, and then she puts it, you know, a little lower, she finds it, and then she's like, like that's weird. Usually with breech babies, I find it like way up high. Obviously their heart's up here, but like yours was down here, and I was like, oh, that is like really odd. Kind of getting a little hopeful. I'm like, maybe he flipped, you know, but trying not to let it like get into my mind, because I'm like, no, I still like, there's no way, like I'm only a few days, he's so big, no way. So that happened, and then they were doing some paperwork, our nurse and another nurse, and
yeah, they were just filling out the charts. They were just filling it out, blah blah blah, going through, just name this, that, and then the one nurse was like, hey, why doesn't it say C-sec or breech, and on her paperwork, like, why doesn't it say she's breech?
she's here for that,
for the C-section. And the other one's like, I don't know, it could be listed as something else. She's like, no, it doesn't say anything about it. And so they were just kind of like, whatever, like, we'll get it in there, like we know why you're here. Like,
but Carson and I instantly look at each other again, like is it a sign? You know, you're just taking like every little thing.
Yeah, still trying to hold out hope there till the end. And then we're like sitting there for a little bit. Doctor finally shows up, comes in.
We're like 30 minutes, probably 30 minutes before.
It is like, yeah, it's like go time. Like, she's just coming in to tell us, hey.
Well, she had to come check.
Well, yeah, just do the one last check, say hi, and then she's gonna go get prepped for surgery.
Yeah.
Comes in, goes straight to Brittany's belly, feels around. She's like, oh man, you know, just kind of gives us a like that, and we're like, dang it.
The 1% of hope we have.
And she's like, okay, grab the ultrasound, let's get this checked, ultrasound machine won't work, won't turn on. So we're sitting there like, like just
for like 10 minutes probably.
Just kind of like waiting. The nurses get a hold of this other nurse, it was a life flight nurse, who just has like a baby ultrasound. And then our doctor just grabs it, like going around the belly, looking up high where she thought, and then she goes and she's kind of getting lower and lower and lower, gets way low where the baby should be, stops, looks at the screen, stops, looks at the screen, shows us. We don't know what we're looking at.
I want to cry again. Oh.
Yeah. No, okay, I'm gonna pay. Let's check her breaker water for the baby turns again. All right.
And she's like, that's a head. And we're like, we both, for like a good 5 minutes, we're just in shock.
I instantly started tearing up.
It was just like, yeah, I couldn't even hold back. It was hard. I mean, it was a miracle, to say the least.
We prayed. I can't even tell you.
Like, a lot. And we had our family praying and everyone kind of rooting for us. And it kind of felt like we were like letting them down because we couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
And then she said that, and then boom, kind of started snapping her fingers. switching things out, getting people ready, alerting the people, telling them
It was
this
literally
and that.
instantly like, she was like, I'm going to break this bladder right now so this baby doesn't flip. Like, we're making this happen.
Yeah.
And yeah, switch the bed, do this, do that. It was like, honestly, kind of overwhelming.
Yeah, because we're just trying to take it in. For like 2 seconds, everyone had cleared out, and we both just had a little moment. Just like kind of grabbed each other. We're like, yes!
It was amazing.
It was so awesome. It was like so unexpected,
can't
but
believe
so like.
It's unexpected,
awesome.
but like, you're like, yeah.
But we
this is
tried
how
to
it's
have
supposed
like
to be.
faith that it would happen, like the belief that it would.
Waiting for a new bed because
So it did, and then we get all swapped out, and I almost immediately get put on Pitocin for the
Yeah.
induction.
she literally broke my water like in that second.
Yeah,
no
she
joke,
just-
probably
she's
within
like-
the minute of doing the ultrasound.
Basically getting rid of all the fluid so that it like sucks the baby down so that he can't go anywhere now that he has actually flipped, because there's still a possibility that he'd flip back, but shouldn't, but could.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, they didn't let us out of there. So that was like 9:30, and then started the induction, and it went very well.
Yeah, it was really good.
Not really any hiccups.
It was last time we had to do the induction a little slower, so it was nice this time.
Yeah, we ramped it up, and our nurse was like kind of
Yeah, our nurse was
competitive.
awesome.
She's like, I get off at 6. I'm getting this baby out before then.
We're like, fine by us.
And
like, by
sweet,
all
yeah,
means.
less than 12 hours. That's cool. So literally like 5 hours at like 3.
Well, so I'm trying to even think of what happened. I can't even remember when I got that epidural. That was the hardest thing for me because I'm like, I don't know when to get it because I don't want to wait too long because you never know how fast it's going to go. It's already at a 3, second baby, but I also don't want to do it too early because I just hate the feeling of like being stuck right there and like being numb, not being able to walk and
Yeah, you
And so it
can't
probably
you
was-
can't get up after that.
Yeah.
They
So
gotta
it's probably
give you
like a couple hours and then I was like,
Pee drip.
I honestly I was feeling contractions pretty good. Like they hurt, but I wasn't like in crazy amount of pain. But I was like, okay, I gotta get them now, so that or get the epidural now, so that I stay on top of the pain because it was starting to get stronger. So that was really nice too. The anesthesiologist was so awesome. He did such a good job. Super nice guy, and that just went really smoothly. I've been very lucky with both epidurals to fully work and honestly didn't hurt too bad, more than it should. Little pokes, but so that was really lucky. The worst thing for me is when I have to do the peanut ball, my whole body, like when I have to go on the side, my whole body just gets like numb. I mean, it's already numb, but it just like is like a hurt. Like when you're my friend said this the other day and I was like, yeah, that's right. Like when your mouth gets numbed or something and it's like coming, or your foot falls asleep and it's like coming unnumbed, that's what it feels like. And it's the most annoying feeling ever. It's just like a painful, like prickles. And so my whole side that I'm laying on always does that. And that's literally probably the worst part for me, which isn't even that bad. So I feel pretty lucky. But I feel like I was like kind of progressing slow. She said probably like 1 centimeter every hour or whatever. So like the first hour got to 4, second hour, maybe it wasn't even that fast. The first couple centimeters took a little longer, and then
I don't know. It seemed
started
really
progressing, started progressing faster, and then I went from like what was I at, 5 to like an 8 pretty fast.
All I know is I'm glad I ate breakfast because I didn't get lunch.
Yeah, Carson freaking got breakfast. Ate in front of me yet again.
Nuh-uh. I literally ate in the cafeteria because you wouldn't let me come back.
You're right.
Because of last time when I had my steak dinner.
I
Right in
didn't
front
eat
of
down
her.
there. But that was before we even knew about any of this.
So like 5-6 hours go by. Get to go time. She has to push even less this
Well,
time.
what's
Like,
crazy though,
oh, sorry. Just trying to
trying to get through this.
get to the deal. Get to the.
I know. So what's crazy is I was at like a 9 and the nurse was like texting my doctor saying like, hey, where you are you in a clinic or you at home? Just getting close, but like no rush. Like I think it'll still be a minute. Well, luckily, my doctor knows things and instantly came over to the hospital because right when she showed up and checked me, she's like, this baby's coming out like right now. So thankfully she didn't listen to the nurse and just came.
She's a doctor, so she knows.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, or else that would have been fun. Probably wouldn't have even had her there because he was pretty low at that point, which was nice. So anyways, get to the pushing. So it had been 6 hours at this point, or almost 6 hours.
We start pushing. I'm up in there grabbing the leg. Brittany's doing her thing. Credit to me, it made her laugh because little Cubby boy's head popped out and he had a lot of dark hair. And I was like, dang, he's got more hair than you. And Brittany was laughing mid-push and the nurses kind of gave me a look like, can you not? Like she was like trying to hold her breath and push and do all these things and you're like interrupting. I was like, my bad. Anyway, popped out and he popped out. Oh.
Mac.
Here's the thing.
Here's
the thing that you didn't say.
Mac was not hard to push out. I mean, it honestly wasn't that bad. But he came out faced the wrong way, so it's faced up instead of down, which they say is harder to push out. And then, but Covey was supposedly faced that way and then flipped, so we knew he was the right way. But he was like honestly pretty hard to push out compared to Mac. I felt like he was a lot harder than Macoy was, and I was like, what the heck? It still was like pretty fast, but I could not figure out why he was so hard to push out. Anyways, come to find out, when he comes out, again, like Carson had said earlier, Macoy was only 6 pounds 12 ounces, and so we expected, or at least I expected, like mid-7s. I didn't expect quite that small, but I didn't expect a freaking huge baby. Comes out, and everyone's just like, he's huge.
Yeah, I could tell. Good. I'm not trained in the profession, but I could tell. I'm like, that baby is way bigger than the first baby. Like, he is a big old baby. I mean, he was plump, chubby.
So chubby.
Rolls,
oh my gosh.
double chin.
His freaking neck
big old
roll.
gray blob just plopped out. I mean, he was big. Anyway, they throw him on Brittany for like 2 seconds. Take him over to the little warming bed. I knew my place over there as they were doing.
Cut the cord.
Oh yeah, cut the cord. They were doing their thing, back with Brittany, getting her cleaned up. I'm just sitting here with this boy looking at him, and he's just fat. Just has a roll around his whole neck.
Mac was like scary. He was so skinny.
Yeah, McCoy had a head and a little
like his
little body.
eyes were sunken.
A little body behind him.
Everything was just so little. It was like scary. But this one, oh my gosh.
Beefy.
Just
I mean,
beefy.
2 pounds. You gotta think 2 pounds on a baby is more than 20% of their body mass
That's a lot.
increase. So it's a lot.
That's a lot.
So yeah, we get him back, get him on Brittany. He just ate straight away. It was better straight away.
He did. The thing that sucked for me is he did have to stay in the warmer because he was like really cold, I guess.
10 more minutes.
Yeah, but dude, after you just push a freaking baby out, like you want to see
think
your
you'd
baby
want to rest.
like.
Is what you think. Not
No,
hold your
you
baby.
want to see
You
what
want to
the baby's
rest.
like. No, you can rest whenever, but.
But this one we got all on video from top down, so you can kind of see what goes on. You can hear my joke if you listen carefully. We'll put that in a different video. Or did we already?
Yeah, speaking of, I should have said that at the beginning. But if you have not watched our birth vlog, go watch it. I'll link it down below. And then you can watch that whole thing. Of course, I'm making jokes.
Oh yeah.
Me pushing.
There you go. This is just
all that
explanation
stuff.
of kind of our perspective on all of it.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it went really good. We literally, still to this day, are just like so freaking grateful for how everything worked out. Like we went in fully expecting to have a C-section, be cut open. I expected the C-section to go good. Like I wasn't expecting anything wrong with it, but again, I was just so scared. And then we had the greatest miracle. I'm so happy it worked out the way it did. Like it was the coolest experience to be able to find out that he wasn't breached the way that we did. I still don't know when he flipped. They kept saying like, you'll feel him flip if he flips, like especially this big, you know, like you can tell, and especially with how big he was. I don't know when he flipped. I have no idea. Must have been in the night. Must have just been. That was honestly the only thing I was doing. Was it said to shove pillows in between your legs, and that'll help like open up your pelvis. So that was the only thing I was doing at that point, and that's my guess is he flipped sometime during a night. I don't know when, but literally our little miracle. It was pretty pretty special. And then he got to meet his brother. That was a whole nother story.
Yeah, that is a whole other story.
So we'll stop it here.
We'll tell you about it later times.
Thanks for being here, though. We love our little Cubby. He really is like.
Yeah, tell your friends. Tell your friends. We're trying to
part.
spend more time with our kids. So the more people watch these videos, the more time we can spend with our kids. So just think about that next time you don't subscribe or share this video. So.
And we'll end there.
See.